Did you walk across the street by yourself? So unlike chickens, we don't know why they crossed the street. You crossed the street. You crossed because your friends lived over there. Your friends were crossing back and forth all day long. I mean, hell, sometimes you were even playing in the street. You went to the park. It was full of equipment, dangerous, lethal equipment, designed to prove Darwin's theory of survival of the fittest, apparently. How many of you have ever fallen off the jungle gym and hit your head on the cement below? Did you have a big sister who sat on one end of the seesaw, and while you were up in the air, she thought it would be funny to jump off? Did you get flung off the merry-go-round? And what about the little free-range kids? When they started to bother you, you could always invent the game of hide-and-seek. And they loved it because they were so good at it, no matter how long you looked for them, you never did find them. Do you remember playing that dangerous game of dodgeball? How did you get to the park in the first place? How did you get anywhere? You rode your bike, but I bet you didn't have a helmet. You were probably barefoot if it was after Easter. And sometimes you even had a buddy on the handlebars. Why? He had a bike of his own, but it was just more fun to have two on a bike. Now, the difference between free-range kids and other children is, as a free-ranger, your mama didn't take you in her minivan and drop you off at the front door. You got to school on your own. Now, if it rained, you had red rubber boots to keep your feet dry. You knew your mom cared because she knitted you those warm mittens if the temperatures got below freezing. But I don't want you to think you were entirely on your own to get to school, because some of the big kids, like the 10-year-olds, had this white plastic beauty queen type sash to wear, so they could walk out in the middle of the busy intersections and stop the traffic for you, and you could get on across the street. Could you find your way home without a GPS? Did you know to turn left 2 stop signs before you got to the reservoir bridge? Did you know to turn right after you crossed the railroad track? Did you have to run errands for your mom? Did she give you 25 cents so you could go buy her some cigarettes downtown? But don't worry, you could cut through the woods, and if you were lucky, it hadn't rained in a while, so the river was down low enough that the rocks were up above, and you had something to walk across on your shortcut. Did you do your own homework? You may have had to go to the library to look up answers in something called an encyclopedia. It's like Wikipedia, but you could hold it in your hands. Now, you probably didn't use the word timeout unless you were playing football or tag. But I'll bet you know the expression, just wait until your father gets home. So if you answered yes to any of these questions, congratulations. You may well have been raised as a free-range child. You wandered around wherever you wanted. The sun was on your eyes, in your face. You learned to be competent, self-confident. You weren't afraid to talk to strangers. You played well with others. And most of all, you never had to worry that your mom might be arrested just because you were out playing with the other free-range children. Mr. President.